Carmelization is the oxidation of sugar resulting in a nutty, caramel flavor and brown color. When caramelizing fruits and vegetables, we use the natural sugars in the food without having to add additional sugar. Let's start with onions. Trim the tip and roots from 2 to 4 yellow onions, cut them in half and remove the skins. Slice the onion into thin slices. Place the skillet on the stovetop over medium heat and add olive oil. Add all of the onions to the pan and stir them gently to coat with oil. As the onions cook and release steam, some of their sugars are transferred to the bottom of the pan. This sticky glaze, known as fond, gives your caramelized onion flavor. You won't get this from a nonstick pan. At about 10 minutes, the onions will start to soften and turn translucent. Stir the onions and scrape up any fond that forms on the bottom. Cooking times will vary. Tip: onions cooked with a pinch of baking soda taste much sweeter with strong caramel overtones. Adjust the heat if the onions seem to be cooking too quickly. Around 30 minutes, the onions should be light blonde in color and starting to become sticky. At 40 minutes, the onions should be golden and starting to smell very caramelized. For an even, deeper caramelized flavor, continue cooking. Continue checking the onions every 5 to 10 minutes until they reach your desired level of caramelization. When your onions have reached the desired caramelization, add a 1/4 cup of wine, broth, balsamic vinegar, or water to the skillet. As the liquid bubbles, scrape up the fond and stir it into the onions. Use additional liquid as necessary to scrape up all the fond. If you're not using the onions immediately, let them cool in the pan, then transfer to a storage container. Tip: caramelized onions can be kept refrigerated for about a week or frozen for up to 3 months. Caramelized carrots are also a delicious treat and can be done in pretty much the same way as the onions. However, you'll want to blanch them for about 3 minutes, drain and pat dry to soften them up a bit. Then add them to your skillet with olive oil and fry them over low to medium heat for about 30 minutes.